Welcome back to All ACC. Final few minutes before this game between Virginia Tech and Duke. Second semifinal, trip to the championship on the line. There's Bree Carrico, the ACC Freshman of the Year, who's getting the nod today for the Hokies. What does she bring to the table, Britt?
She's a very accurate pitcher. She's not going to overpower these hitters with speed, but she's going to work up in the zone, and she has an elite changeup.
What does that mean for this Duke lineup here today, Alex? How do they approach Bree Carrico?
They're going to fight pitch by pitch, and I think they're waiting for the mistakes. If they can just stick to the process, know that, hey, this is going to be a tough battle, but we got to stay locked in every single moment that we get an opportunity. We're going to be just fine. They got to keep the belief.
And how about that? We just saw it in the first game with Florida State. Bella Dimitrijevic getting the starting nod in the circle for Florida State. She got the job done, and we got another one there for the Hokies. It is time, folks, to make our picks for this second semifinal. Brent, I'm going to go with you first. Where are you going?
I'm going with Virginia Tech.
Okay.
They put something in me last night after watching Mazzarone throw.
And we've got all blue skies here, but I think the storm is coming, so I got to pick Duke.
You also have a blue shirt on. I know that was not intentional. I'm going with the Duke Blue Devils too, which would mean a rematch of the 24 championship, but enjoy this one. Chucky and Jenny have you on the call.
Welcome to the All-State ACC Softball Championship. The iconic rotunda here on the University of Virginia campus. One more game before our championship is set. It's the three-seeded Hokies of Virginia Tech and the Duke Blue Devils, who got here in much different ways in their quarterfinal wins yesterday. But at the end of this, they hope a third championship for one of them awaits. For Florida State, they have hoisted that trophy many more times. Ashton Danley was sure to get them a chance at it tomorrow. She was electric, both swinging it and pitching in a dominant run rule victory for Florida State over the Stanford Cardinal. And their freshman pitcher, Bella Dimitrijevic, moves them on in the bracket. So Florida State awaits the winner. Our championship here at the ACC Tournament is tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern on ESPN. Alongside a former National Player of the Year, Jenny Dalton-Hill, I'm Chucky Kemp. Well, Virginia Tech, hard to believe they haven't been to the ACC Championship since 2012. After last night, they got to be feeling pretty good.
They do, but they need to get their bats going. Just 4 hits for them in that win over Virginia in front of an electric crowd here in Charlottesville.
Helps you not need the offense when Emma Mazzarone is at her best.
No, and last night got a career performance out of the hurler in the circle. Emma Mazzarone exploited the outside part of the plate, mixed her speeds masterfully, struck out the side twice. 14 strikeouts, a career best, and then her bats did show up. Addison Foster triple into the right field corner, then a throwing error. Hokies on the board. Next inning, Rachel Castine was on with a walk. Zoe Yeager double, plated the pinch runner, and then Annika Rose line drive to left field, another run across. Virginia Tech with the 3-1 win. It was a much different look for Duke. Their bats were hot, all because of the top of their lineup. Deanna Jennings, Duke's all-time hits leader, sets the table in the leadoff spot with power, speed, and average. Amina Vega, Duke's all-time doubles leader, and leads the team in batting average. Jess Oakland, 4 for 5 yesterday with 2 doubles. Tyrena Jones, the single-season home run and RBI record holder at Duke.
Let's take a look at today's What to Watch For, presented by Ally.
Virginia Tech can't leave the ball big against these Duke hitters. They need to control the strike zone. And for Duke, everyone in the starting lineup had a hit yesterday. They need to just keep those bats hot.
Duke had a long layoff as well before playing this game. Addison Foster really kind of the spark plug yesterday with that triple, and then scored on a throwing error at the top of this Virginia Tech order. Lets that first pitch go for ball 1. Left-handed hitting junior center fielder from Lockport, Illinois. Transferred in from Stetson after 2 years. Pete DeMore, a big fan of his first-year center fielder now. And the start today will go to a senior from Westchester, Ohio, KK Mathis, who we saw yesterday in relief of Cassidy Curd. 1 2/3 innings, 2 hits, and no runs. So instead of Curd, we see KK Mathis out of the gates, who just started throwing toward the end of March this season.
That's exactly what I was going to talk about.
In the air to right field, Layla Lamar takes care of it.
KK Mathis in the circle is a surprise for me when it comes to this Duke pitching staff. She has not emerged until late in the season because when they went to her, she said, I pitched in high school, I can help out if you need, and they said, let's do this. So you'll see her come in throwing a little bit less velocity than most of the other pitchers on staff.
Bunt attempt popped up off the netting for Jordan Lynch, the 2-hole for the Hokies. This is the part of the order for Virginia Tech that needs to get going. And for the most part this year, they have been excellent. But their 2 through 5 hitters last night went 0 for 10 with a pair of walks. Ground ball to the right side, right into that shift. Amina Vega in her normal spot at second base. A quick 2 outs here for Mathis.
That's one thing this Duke defense continues to do is play into the shift and look at the different scenarios where they can take advantage of these Virginia Tech bats that can at times score in bunches. Last night kept very quiet by Virginia.
First pitch ball to Michelle Chatfield, the first baseman in the 3-hole, 0 for 2 with a walk last night. She also had a tremendous defensive play when she came flying in on a bunt attempt that turned out to be a double play for Mazzarone. This is lifted to left center. See you later. Chatfield's 14th of the season.
This Virginia team has scored home runs constantly, but yesterday kept in the ballpark by the Virginia freshman in the circle. Here today, home run number 102 for the Hokies. Michelle Chatfield kept hitless yesterday, capitalizes in her first AB over the grandstands out there in left center.
That 102 that you mentioned in the home run department as a team is a top 6 mark in the country. It is the leading number in the ACC. Now Mathis behind 2-0 to Kylie Aldrich. Off the end of the bat, this should do it for the inning. Handled at first by Jada Baker. A loud first run, though, for Virginia Tech and Michelle Chatfield.
How do you change the momentum of a game? Well, you put a big charge and a pitch left big. Michelle Chatfield gets the Hokies on the board in the first inning.
All-State ACC Softball Championship is brought to you by All-State. You're in good hands.
The ACC Championship trophy will have a new home come tomorrow in about 25 hours or so. Virginia Tech up 1-0 on Duke after an absolute blast by Michelle Chatfield in that first inning. How about this? You can't just highlight one. You got to put them together. The top 4 in the order yesterday, 10 for 18, 8 RBIs, 7 runs. Now, the bottom 5 in the order could have their own numbers as well, and they'd be pretty darn good. But this first 4 for Marissa Young is as good as anyone in the country.
You show up with senior leadership and pillars in this young program, just the 9th season of competitive play for the Duke Blue Devils.
Deanna Jennings leads it off and takes that pitch outside in the dirt. A 1-1 count for Jennings. Her and Amina Vega are just playing tag in the all-time hits category, in the single-season hits category, as well as runs scored. You name it, those 2 names will forever be a part of Duke softball history. They will face off with the ACC Freshman of the Year, Bree Carrico, who has had an excellent start to her career. This is her 8th start of the year, or excuse me, her 11th start of the year. 8 of them have come since April 3rd as she gives up a leadoff single to Jennings.
Well, and the reason that was a hit is because Deanna Jennings got that one so far off the end of the bat, it didn't have enough juice to get out to the center fielder, Addison Foster. Bree Carrico, freshman year, did not play, so it's a redshirt year that she used to develop into what we see now, mid to upper 60s, moves the ball well up and down, and commands that changeup.
Yeah, technically listed as a sophomore, but to your point, redshirted last year as a freshman, so this really is the freshman year for Bree Carrico, which is why she was the ACC Freshman of the Year. Now Amina Vega, 0-1 count with a very familiar sight. Deanna Jennings on base in front of her. Carrico goes outside, 1-1.
And Jennings, with a ton of speed, has the most stolen bases on staff. Perfect 16 for 16 and swiping that second base bag.
Carrico has seen Duke twice this year in their regular season series. Vega flies this into foul territory. Jennings off on the run and in safely just ahead of the throw from the left fielder Abramovich.
Good throw by Abramovich and a missed hit by Vega. An opportunity for Duke to put a big charge in one, but a great pitch by Carrico keeps that ball in the ballpark, foul territory, and a nice second out.
And those 2 regular season appearances for Carrico, both were out of the bullpen, 5 2/3, 5 hits, and just 1 earned run against this Blue Devils lineup.
My apologies, first out of the inning with that flare to Jennings. She sits on second base in scoring position.
For Jessica Oakland, who was 4 for 5 yesterday, a couple doubles and 4 RBIs. Hard hit ground ball is scooped up and handled by Rose, 2 outs.
And typically you tell your base runners not to advance on a ball that they can't get in front of over there between second and third, but Jennings so fast, challenges the shortstop Rose, who gets the out at first, and now it's 60 feet away from Duke getting on the board. I mean, when you as a runner, if the ball beats your path, you typically are told to stay at second base, but Jennings takes advantage.
Strike 1 on a check swing from Tyrena Jones. Tyrena had a pair of hits yesterday, including a triple and a couple RBIs. 5 players in the Duke lineup had multiple RBIs in that win over North Carolina.
It was just an offensive show last night. The ball continued to fly, but there were a ton of runs scored on both sides. 24 combined runs, 31 combined hits.
In the air to Abramovich with sun for one of the first times this weekend. Beautiful day in Charlottesville. Semifinal number 2 is underway.
Selection Sunday.
Election Sunday.
Election Sunday.
64 teams that want to get to Oklahoma City.
Everyone in the country wants to hear their name be called.
I feel like it's just the beginning of a new season.
It is Sunday at 7 Eastern on ESPN2, the NCAA Softball Selection Special. Regionals start a week from today all across the country. Things are a little different this year, so let's break this down for you. The top 16 seeds still host regionals. They will be assigned 1 through 4, and the reasoning for that is to match them up with the next 16 seeded teams, which is new. 17 through 32 will not be announced publicly, but they will be seeded. And so the 1 through 4 and the 5 through 8 seeds will help match those teams up based on other factors, location, conferences that can't go up against each other in regionals. The easiest way to explain it is that this is to reward great performances.
Yeah, 17 through 32 teams. Those seedings will be placed into a bracket in a manner that reflects greater competitive balance among top teams. So more than anything, no longer will these placements be dictated by geography and then by strength. They will be seeded by their standing and then be able to be placed into the bracket to make it not only more competitive, but fair for those teams that have had to stay regionally.
This is driven to right center field, and it's gone! Another solo shot for Virginia Tech. This time it's Nora Abramovich, who has been red hot as of late.
Freshman season for Nora Abramovich saw just 16 at-bats. This year, she steps into a power role for Virginia Tech. That's her 18th home run of the season. One of those players that benefited from time last year to sit and learn.
Well, we are not in Blacksburg, but it's only about 150 miles southwest of Charlottesville. We saw a good contingent of Hokie fans last night, and we have seen probably an increase in that number today for this semifinal matchup against Duke. That pitch just missing, and it's 3-0. So a visit here from Gabby Shattuck out to KK Mathis.
And I like the fact that the freshman feels the confidence to go out and talk to the senior KK Mathis out in the circle. At this point in the season, Shattuck has more experience in the battery than Mathis does, knowing that Mathis has emerged as of late in the circle to be able to help out the pitching staff.
That does catch the outside corner, 3-1 count to Rachel Castine. Doesn't get any easier here. She was on a 4-game home run streak entering the postseason, did not homer yesterday. That is bounced in by Mathis. So a solo home run to lead off the second and a walk after that. We're talking Selection Sunday. The top 16 look like this. Stanford actually moved from 17 to 16, and yes, they lost today, but one of the things we talked about, Jenny, is the two teams behind them are also done playing.
Yeah, so there's not going to be much movement behind them. So what they need to do is just hope that there's some teams still playing that can fall in the rankings or in the RPI standings.
Already a pitching change, and it will be the veteran Cassidy Kurd replacing KK Mathis. Top of the second, Virginia Tech up 2 with 1 on. We'll see Kurd next. Senior from Port St. Lucie, Florida, Cassidy Curd, who has thrown in so many big moments for this Duke program. We saw her get the start against North Carolina yesterday, got beat up a little bit, 9 hits, 8 earned, and 3 2/3, which really kind of snapped a fantastic run that she had been on at the end of the regular season.
When Curd came into her senior year, just so prepared for what she was going to have to carry. She knew it would be another heavy load, a lot of velo coming out of the circle. Lives confidently at the top of the zone.
1-1 start for Curd against the Virginia Tech catcher Zoe Yeager. I might add, that was the 4th time North Carolina had seen Cassidy Curd. Outside ball 2.
Yeah, she pitched in every game of the regular season, and then coming in yesterday, a lot of hits off of their bats too, but Duke was just too hot to keep in the loss column.
3-2. Curd trying to dial it into that outside corner. Full count just off the end of the bat of Yeager there, who was 1 for 3 with a double and an RBI yesterday. Zoe Yeager, all ACC 3rd team a year ago, made 47 starts at catcher, back in a full-time catching role this year for Pete Demore. 7 straight wins for Virginia Tech. Just outside ball 4.
Establishing the zone when you get into a ball game is so important. Cassidy Curd, it's back-to-back walks. Mathis and Curd combining for both of those free passes.
Tell you one team that could be a problem for Stanford in the RPI is the Hokies. They moved from 20 to 19 after their win yesterday, and this is a team that I don't know if a win today would be enough, but certainly would think an ACC championship would get them into the top 16.
Most definitely, because when you look at who's ahead of them up in the standings, Florida State at the 12, if they could get the win in the championship, that would be big to be able to get some movement.
So a lot to play for, really, for all 3 teams that are left. For Duke, it would be an opportunity to maybe make their case for a top 8 seed. The same goes for Florida State, and then for Virginia Tech to get into that hosting position.
So many seasons on the line right now. Luckily, the teams that we're talking about here in the ACC are all going to be okay. Each of these 5 will be in the postseason. Virginia sits just outside that bubble at 26. Those 6 definitely are going to be okay.
Fair territory, a smart play by Tyrena Jones. Looked like a defensive back for a second there, just backpedaling to third base.
Well, and when you backpedal, you need to make sure that you keep nose over toes, because as soon as you let that go with your head back, you have the chance to fall over your feet. But stays athletic. She knows there's no time to get a throw all the way across to get another out.
I know you played baseball too. Did you play a little flag football maybe?
I mean, you should. It's in the Olympics, right? I think I'm past my prime.
2 on for Gabby Mazzell. She takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Excuse me, this is Annika Rose. Mazzell is on first now. Rose had a great swing right down the left field line for an RBI double last night. Ground ball this time. Backs up Oakland. Quick throw to Vega. They can't quite turn 2, but what an exchange out of Vega's glove.
Vega is so impressive, and Oakland had to play that a little bit differently with the base runner dancing around the hit, going up the middle. Vega, such a quick transition at second base. Fantastic defender.
What's the key to that transition?
Making sure that your footwork gets you out of the baseline, but also getting the ball out of the glove without any hiccups.
Are you trying to catch it in a specific spot?
more than anything, it's all about the feed, because sometimes the feed is not a good one from your middle infielder. And so in that one, Oakland gave her a really nice toss at second base, right into that throwing, into the chest, which helps her get that throwing motion quickly.
Top of the order for Virginia Tech, Addison Foster reaching at that pitch to foul it off. It's a 1-1 count for Curd. Pete Demore will know all these opportunities need to be taken because Duke is just too dangerous to leave the door open. Can the junior Foster be a two-strike hitter? 2-2. She was excellent in ACC play, hit .444 with 12 of her 18 doubles coming against ACC opponents. 22-game reach base streak. Swings through that pitch. Cassidy Curd climbs the ladder and holds Virginia Tech to just 1.
Cassidy Curd loves the strikeout pitch up and away, but Virginia Tech capitalizes off of KK Mathis. Big home run, 18th of the year for Abramovich, 103 team home runs for Virginia Tech.
The Seminoles and Blue Devils claw and fight to bring home that trophy. That is pounded, but that's right up the middle. Davidson comes around to tie the game.
Duke, this is a big inning for them. Big player, big hit, big moment.
Off Curd's glove, can she recover in time? Yes! It's Duke, the ACC Tournament champion.
Duke has done it twice in the last 5 years, 2021 and then again in 2024. Back-to-back for Florida State in 22 and 23. And then, of course, Clemson last year, who we saw knocked out on day 1 of this tournament against North Carolina.
Weather really changed up the look of last year's softball championship held at Boston College this year. Beautiful sunny day here in Charlottesville.
And a short rain delay yesterday in the Florida State-Georgia Tech game, but other than that, it has looked really good. It was a little chilly last night, I will say that. It was good up here, but we've heard things outside were colder. Foul back. This is 5-6-7 for Duke.
Let's just call it like it is, Chucky. You were calling out the crew down the line. Our studio crew has been braving the elements. They deserve a beautiful day to finally be able to call some nice softball underneath some sunshine.
I thought they should have stayed on longer. last night, but they made up for it filling for us after an hour and 20-minute game, so hats off.
Chucky, you're brutal. It has been very chilly outside. Now today they have to fight the sun. Man, all the elements.
2-2 outside, good at bat here for Layla Lamar. The right fielder, daughter of Marissa Young, the Duke head coach. We talked about Gabby Shattuck last night and some of these younger Duke bats. A chance to really step into a monster role next year as Lamar goes down on strikes, and she'll certainly be one of those. But that's a great pitch by Carrico.
Being able to paint corners is so important, especially with Duke, who knows the strike zone fairly well. That pitch, if she can keep it on that spot, going to be a difference maker for her. Cannot make mistakes over the plate against these big bats.
Foul tip by KK Mathis, who started in the circle, and our home plate umpire, Alex Leap, took a piece of that ball.
I don't think he took a piece. He took all of that ricochet off of the barrel right into the chest protector and into the arm.
Ooh.
You know, and as a catcher, it is your job to kind of protect the umpire, but in that situation, it's almost impossible to be able to make a difference in that deflection.
0-1 count to KK Mathis, who drove in a pair with 3 hits and scored twice herself. 1-1. Mathis somewhat fooled by that, didn't really want it.
And sometimes you have in your head that you're going to swing at the next pitch, and what happens is you don't have the ability to hold up when you see the ball getting up and out of the strike zone. I think it's really easy to sit at home on your couch and think, how did she swing at that? But at the same time, when that ball comes out of the hand of the pitcher, you have to make your decision. And so as it sits where you think it's going to be about belt high, a good rise ball pitcher can get late sharp break over the barrel, and it's almost impossible to hold up.
Trying to paint the outside corner, 2-2.
As a hitter, you are looking at the release of the ball. That's when you're making your decision. You're looking at hand position, you're looking at arm position, you're looking at body position, and making a decision way out there by the circle.
Swing and a miss. Back-to-back Ks for Bree Carrico.
And don't get me wrong, I was a sucker for a good rise ball pitcher. I racked up strikeouts for Dee Dee Wyman at UCLA over and over again because a ball that sits just about the letters looks so big coming in, hard to lay off of. But as soon as it gets that little wiggle at the end, you got the swing and miss.
Carrico has retired 5 straight after a leadoff single in the game by Deanna Jennings. Hard to keep these Duke hitters off balance. Gabby Shattuck takes that pitch for strike 1. How good has Gabby Shattuck been over the last month of the season? 7 multi-hit games, over half her hits and home runs have come over that time. And she's been handling this pitching staff as well behind the plate.
If there's anyone with more information about the strike zone, I'd like you to show me who it is. As a catcher sitting back behind the dish for an entire game, you're able to see where those strike zones are able to be extended and where you need to attack so you don't get taken advantage of.
Just got a piece of that. Yeah, this probably feels like the easy part for Gabby Shattuck, and all the conversations she's having in between innings with the pitching staff and the coaches. But right now she's thinking, this is all me at the dish.
And I'm just impressed with the way that the freshman has handled all the pressure this year, not only handling the entire pitching staff, but putting up some really big numbers at the plate.
2-2. takes strike 3. Carrico strikes out the side in order.
Well, Chucky, we might as well get out the brush because right now, Brie Carrico is painting some beautiful corners. Strikes out the side, gets Lamar, Mathis, and Shattuck.
Our week in Charlottesville is coming to a close tomorrow. It has been an incredible event so far. That's Joanna Harden right there helping the grounds crew who have done an excellent job in their own right, but also is nice when your head coach goes out to help out. Beautiful day today. Fans from all over the country. We've seen Stanford parents in our hotel. The Virginia fans showed out in numbers last night, and look at this park. Palmer Park is absolutely beautiful.
Not only is it beautiful on the outside, but even the underbelly and where we come in, back behind the scenes, absolutely beautiful. And I'm so impressed with the way that we've been treated this week. So much gratitude for all of the people behind the scenes that have put together a beautiful tournament this week.
Yeah, big thank you to our producer, Todd Koulis, and director, Paul Drushniak, Yvonne Wagner, Lauren Nilsson, our entire crew. Vince Rue up here in the booth with us all week long. Championship tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern on ESPN. Who is it going to be? Florida State awaits the winner. 2-3-4 in the inning, due up for the Hokies. Mentioned 2 through 5 struggling for them last night. A little better tonight. A couple solo home runs from these spots in the order.
I'm going to say it wasn't just 2 through 5. I'm going to say 2 through 9 struggled. Addison Foster was 2 for 3 on the night in the leadoff slot. The rest of this team, 2 for 22.
3-0 count. 4-pitch walk here for Lynch, who darts down the first base line.
Shattuck needing to have a conversation with Cassidy Curd. We've seen Cassidy Curd actually take control of a lot of those conversations in the circle, but this one was initiated by Shattuck because she went out to tell Curd some information rather than have her give her the conversation back toward her. So I like that the freshman taking control of this situation. Curd, the reliever here today, as Mathis was relieved as a starter.
Strike one from Curd to Michelle Chatfield. Had the solo shot to open the scoring off of Mathis, 4th in program history with 48 career home runs, as she takes that for strike 2.
It was a big swing. She's the 3rd batter in this lineup. There were 2 outs on the board, but she hit it over the left field bleachers. Huge poke, 14th home run of the year for her.
Outside ball 1. Lynch does have speed over at first base, has stolen 13 bases this season. That is down and away, ball 2. Which is Virginia Tech won't be satisfied with any lead. If you're Duke, you also don't want this to get too far away because this is a different caliber of offense in the Hokies. Last night was the first time all season they hadn't out-hit their opponent, and they had 4 hits to 4 hits, so it was an even number. They still found a way to win, but they can absolutely swing in a top 10 offense in the country for Pete Demore. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. A walk and a single to start this 3rd inning.
And there have been times this season when Curd has lost the strike zone. She has the tendency at times to leave the ball big, and that one sat about belt high, pretty much down the middle of the plate. Chatfield didn't elevate, but just hit the ball right back where it came from, right back up the middle. Nice little base knock.
First and second with nobody out for Kylie Aldridge, the shortstop. She watches ball 1 low. One-0 catches the plate for strike 1. Fouls this one away and falls behind Curd.
And the way that Gabby Shattuck is playing back behind the plate, she's not giving a lot of information to the runner out there on second base, Jordan Lynch. Sometimes as a runner, when you get to second base, you can see the calls being made or the setup of the catcher. But at second base, she is looking in to try to give any hint to the batter. Unable to do so, has to just set up on the bag and run. Sometimes you can look around and look to see where the defense is playing you to give maybe some cues as to where the pitch is going to be coming. But right now, Duke playing straight up.
Inside corner from Curd for strike 3. That's a big pitch.
It really is. When we've seen the way that she's been dancing around the zone, gave up that leadoff walk to Jordan Lynch and paints the inside corner, you could tell Aldridge was trying to buy a ball call, but she knew it was just going to be a walk back to the dugout.
The 120th strikeout of the season for Cassidy Curd. And starts off Nora Abramovich with a strike. First time Nora Abramovich has seen Curd tonight. Had the solo home run off Mathis to lead off the 2nd inning.
And that front leg kick is a little bit unique to Abramovich. First plate appearance, huge oppo dinger. 2nd home run of the game for Virginia Tech. It was a leadoff home run in the 2nd inning, and it chased KK Mathis from the game a batter later.
Is it a timing thing?
Yeah, so that front leg kick, it's all about the load. It's making sure that she gets into those hips, and it is a little bit of a timing thing to make sure that she stays in her legs and doesn't allow her weight to come out front.
Nice job by Shattuck to scoop that out of the dirt and keep the runners at 1st and 2nd.
Scooping can be dangerous at times. Typically, you like your catcher to block things up, but a nice little pick keeps it in front.
Chopper up the middle. Oakland steps on the bag. Jump throw to first. Oh, Jessica Oakland, double play.
You got to be athletic to play shortstop. Jess Oakland coming in. Had to sit last year and wait her turn, comes in with a really nice double play to get him out of the inning.
The Women's College World Series not far away, and ESPN is your home for coverage that begins May 28th. ABC, ESPN, and ESPN2. And the road there really begins tomorrow. Championship Saturday. We are right there in the middle, 2:30 Eastern on ESPN after the Big 12 and leading into the SEC Championship in Lexington. The selection special is Sunday at 7 Eastern on ESPN2.
The postseason starts next week. While these conference tournaments are important for seeding and for postseason bids, not technically the postseason right now.
You know what we'll be doing next week at this time?
Calling a game somewhere else.
Right, probably about to rehearse and open for first of 2 games in our Friday slate, of which we do not know where they will be.
Nobody does, honestly, around the entire country, unless you win your conference tournament and get that automatic qualifying bid to the postseason. There is no guarantee that you are making it. So that's why the RPI is such an important metric.
These two teams won't have a ton of stress if their name's going to be called, but they will be celebrating if they see it in a certain spot as far as seeds go. Duke will be on the edge of their seats if they can win today, and maybe tomorrow if they could be a top 8. Lonnie Alameda and Florida State, if they raise that trophy, will be in the same situation. Virginia Tech hoping it would be in the top 16. This is playable in foul territory and falls between 3 Hokies. Let's look at that Duke resume to this point. They finished 2nd in the ACC, 20-4 in the regular season, didn't lose an ACC series, 12 wins against the top 25, and a top 20 strength of schedule for them as well.
They're still trying to see if they can break into the top 8. That's the magic number. Top 8 seeds have the chance to be able to host not just regionals, but supers at home as well.
Duke started the season 7-1 and then hit a little rough patch, went 2-8 in a 10-game span. So they were 9-9. Since the 9-9 start, they have won 30 of their last 34 games.
Pretty good stretch, but I think they had a bad taste in their mouth with that loss in the Clemson series that pushed them into the number 2 spot here in the tournament. They were in complete control of their destiny, looking to try to get to be the regular season champion in the ACC, but that loss to Clemson pushed them below Florida State.
2-2 count for Carrico to Jada Baker. Another foul ball. Baker making this very difficult for Carrico. Baker didn't play yesterday. Jayla Stafford, another freshman, got the start over at first base. Baker, a grad student from Longwood Florida. Missed some time from mid-March to about April 10th. Another foul ball. The 9th pitch of the at-bat is next.
And Jada Baker has been used in a lot of different situations defensively for the Blue Devils in her career. Shortstop, first base, third base, can basically play any infield position.
Off the end of the bat, and a little jumping catch by Annika Rose at shortstop. 1 out. Virginia Tech started the week 20th in the RPI. They've climbed 1 spot, 7-3 record against top 25 teams, 45 wins. They're looking to host for the first time since 2022. And Jenny, listen to this. The last 3 years, they've gone to Tuscaloosa, Los Angeles, and Athens.
That's why I think ranking or seeding to 32 is going to be so important for them. It gives them a little bit more competitive advantage. A win here today would help that RPI number. I don't know that it would be enough to get them into the top 16.
And what that does, what Jenny's talking about, is that 17 through 21 would get matched up with someone from 13 to 16. So instead of going out to UCLA, if they're a top 8 team, you'll get someone that's a little bit closer to who you're competing with right now for a hosting spot. So you're not just rewarding the best teams in the country, you're also rewarding those ones that just miss out on having it in their own building.
And what's happened in recent years, or actually throughout the history of our game, is you've had to go close to home to play in your regional if you are not seeded one of the top 16 seeds. And so a lot of teams have had to go against some really difficult competition that they should not have matched up against in the first round of the postseason. And so by seeding 32 teams, it now gives teams a chance to travel a little bit further to be able to play competition that might be a little bit more matched to the season that they've put together.
A good week for Adeline Matthews. She just reached for the 3rd time in 2 games, had a couple of hits with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored last night. And she's aboard with a 1-out walk to set the table for the top of the Blue Devils order.
First walk issued by Bree Carrico here today, setting up the top of the lineup that has all the power for Duke.
Carrico missing just outside to Deanna Jennings, who has the lone hit in this game off of the sophomore pitcher. Outside corner, strike 1. You know what that hit did? It tied Deanna Jennings yet again with Amina Vega in the season hit total. They are both at 78 now. Marissa Young's probably saying, race it right up to 100.
Well, the reason that's an important number is because they are now setting the single season hits record. So continuing to try to out-hit each other. Well, they sit 1 and 2 in the lineup. That's a pretty good spot for Marissa Young.
Out straight back by Jennings, 2-2.
A couple of years ago, we saw Jennings start to emerge as a free swinger at the plate. When the rule changed for slappers with that toe out of the box rule, she was being exploited constantly for stepping over the line and being called out. So with that, changed her game to swing away, had her first home run at Supers against Mizzou.
Here's the career hits leaderboard. This is kind of hilarious, honestly, the fact that they are 4 away from each other in career hits in this Duke's program's history. Lifts this to left center field, carrying toward the wall, and a jumping catch out there by Abramovich, which also holds Matthews at first base, 2 outs.
I thought that ball was going to get out of here. The way that the fans were reacting out beyond the wall, they started to scatter like the ball was going to hit beyond the fence. Great barrel, going oppo. Played a little uniquely over at first base by Matthews. Can't take advantage to tag up and get to second base. Big celebration by Carrico.
Now to Amina Vega. She also flew out to left field her first trip to the plate. Vega's seeing a little shift here from this Virginia Tech defense. We're just seeing this all over the place from numerous teams this weekend.
Yeah, so they'll take Rose onto the other side of second base and give 3 defenders on the right side, knowing that Vega likes to pull. But we've talked about this all week, Chucky. If you're gonna play a shift defensively as a pitcher, you've gotta make sure that you're throwing into the shift so that your defense can have your back. If Carrico is gonna throw to the outside part of the plate, it exposes the left side of their defense, as right now, Jordan Lynch is the only defender over there in the shortstop position, but she's actually the third baseman.
Ground ball right side, picked up by the glove, and Vega's too fast. She is on. Bounced up at the chest of Castine.
It's all about picking your hop, and Castine, a veteran second baseman, but sat back and let the ball come to her. Sometimes it can eat you up like it did there. Your job is to make sure you take at least one little step forward to take advantage of a hop that'll get you in the glove. You always want to make just a little advancement forward if possible.
Dangerous spot to give Duke another opportunity. We're talking about the single season hit race. Jessica Oakland is also in that conversation. She has 72 after 4 of them last night.
Jess Oakland, it's been fun to watch the way that she's come in this year, hungry to compete after having to sit out last year due to the transfer rule.
Chases the pitch from Carrico.
I mean, ball up in the zone seems to be a vulnerable spot right now for Duke. They're liking the ball at the letters, so it's a spot that can be exploited by Carrico.
Into left field, foul. "14-game hit streak for Jessica Oakland. She's hit 5 home runs in the last 9 games. She had a 3-run shot off Sage Margetko in their midweek win a couple weeks ago over Tennessee. Down and away, ball 1.
And I like that mix of not just speeds, but location. Knowing that the ball up has been where Carrico has tried to exploit the swings of these hitters. She goes down and away. I'm guessing she's gonna go right back upstairs.
To left field, that's also gonna get out of play. Nearly a great robbed home run, or not robbed home run, robbed foul ball out there near our studio set.
He's just trying to make friends and keep our friends down the line safe.
1-2. Ooh, up and in, and got Oakland to load the bases.
You always want to get that movement up and in on those big hitters, especially when they're showing that they're free swinging. Totally on accident as that ball went up and in. Just the 3rd time this season that Jess Oakland has been hit by a pitch above the arm guard.
Virginia Tech wants to talk things over with their sophomore pitcher, Bree Carrico. With a very dangerous Tyrena Jones at the plate.
I mean, yesterday we saw so many hits for Duke in her 3rd plate appearance. Big triple I mean, you're looking at a player who went 2 for 5 yesterday. Impressed with the way that the Duke bats just absolutely came alive. They needed to, though. They were playing from behind, a big 16-8 run rule win, but that's not the way that that game was trending. 2 really big innings gave Duke the advantage.
4 in the second, 6 in the fourth, 6 in the sixth for Duke. And that was a 6 spot in the sixth only because it was the run rule. They could have had more. Big swing from Jones for strike 1. Duke's single season home run and RBI queen. Again, a little out in front of that pitch and behind 0-2.
Now the key to this at-bat is making sure that you stay on top. Carrico loves to use that rise ball for the swing and miss. You have to show discipline up in the zone, but take advantage of one just above the belt.
Can Carrico get out of it? She can! Big time pitch for the ACC Freshman of the Year.
Fourth strikeout of the day for Bree Carrico in a tough situation. Hit the batter right before, but gets 3 nice whiffs to get out of the inning.
Welcome back to the All-State ACC Softball Championship. 3 innings played in our second semifinal in Charlottesville. Virginia Tech leading Duke 2-0. We're joined by the Hokies head coach Pete Demore. Coach, you got the ACC Freshman of the Year in the circle today. What's impressed you most about Bree Carrico's development this past year?
Yeah, she just worked her tail off. Just gotten better in every aspect of her life. And, you know, she's just a hard worker, unflappable, and I'm happy for her.
Well, and your bats have hit home runs year over year, and technically that's not what you teach them. So what has been the message coming into today, knowing that the long ball's really been a big part of it?
Well, I didn't even say that because the wind's blowing in. So I just said hit the ball hard and see what happens. So I don't know, I guess luck's on our side.
So far, so good, Coach. Thank you.
And I got to say happy Mother's Day to my wife, Anna, and my mom. They're watching. And my sister. Throw her in there, too. Gobble, gobble.
You're making us all look bad, Coach.
Love that little shout out. The families back home have to handle so much for these college coaches. So love that little shout out by head coach Pete Demore to his special women back home.
First pitch swinging for Castine. Chance out in left field for Matthews. 1 out. Happy Mother's Day to you early, Jenny, as well, and my wife and mom and grandma's back home. Okay, Jenny, I know you are looking forward to this. ACC PM live from the spring meetings Monday and Tuesday at 4 Eastern on ACC Network. You can stay up to date with the latest news, analysis, and interviews from across the conference. You can also stream it on the ESPN app. I will say, in today's landscape, these are the things you might hear something really interesting at.
I'm just really grateful they don't start until Monday so that all the moms can have that day off on Sunday for Mother's Day.
Yeah. One away for Cassidy Curd. Now the catcher, Yeager. This is going to be playable. Oakland takes control. 2 quick outs here for Cassidy Curd and Duke.
And I don't know if you can hear it at home, but you've got your catcher, Shattuck, yelling, room, room, room. And what that's telling the defenders is that they are nowhere near the wall, that they're going to be able to get that ball easily. Nice little peek over by Oakland to make sure she had a ton of room. But the job of the catcher is to help out your defenders down the line.
Yeah, just another reason to appreciate the freshman season Gabby Shattuck's having, and not just the freshman season. It's really been the back half of this, the last month in particular, that's been excellent for her, but not just production, what you're talking about there. You don't always see a freshman communicating like that.
No, and communication is so important on defense to make sure you get those outs, that defenders are able to navigate balls that could potentially run in between the two of them. That last pop-up over in foul territory for Oakland, actually Tyrena Jones was called off quickly and veered out of the way, so great communication for Duke right now.
Trying to tempt Gabby Mizell to chase that. It's a 2-1 count. Curd has gone 2 1/3 since entering for the starter KK Mathis and allowed just 1 hit, 2 walks, and a pair of strikeouts. Slow roller back to Curd. Spins and not in time. It's going to go down as an infield single for Mizell.
When you're a big swinger like Mizell, there are times when that kind of hit feels terrible off the bat. It does execute a base hit down the line, even though Curd was very athletic to be able to get that ball quickly and throw it down the line. It does get a base hit, but those do not feel good off the bat.
Keeps the inning going for Annika Rose at the bottom of this Virginia Tech order. Lifts the first pitch out to right field. Layla Lamar takes charge. Curd sees 4 in the 4th, and it's just the infield single. Duke's bats coming up next. We'll talk to Marissa Young as well. Welcome back to the All-State ACC Softball Championship. Going to the bottom of the fourth. Everybody enjoying the weather here in Charlottesville. We're joined by Duke's ninth-year head coach, Marissa Young. Coach, we were just talking about your freshman catcher, Gabby Shattuck. We could hear her communicating on that ball in foul territory. Her growth this season, from an outside perspective, has been excellent. What have you seen?
It's been a beautiful thing to watch. Gabby is the ultimate competitor, and she just wants to help her team win in so many different ways. And, you know, catcher is a tough position. You've got to command the field, and she's really found her voice and found a way to help the defense as well as the pitching staff.
Well, this is not a team that panics when they play from behind. 2 runs, not a huge lead right now for Virginia Tech. What do you need your bats to do?
Keep doing what we've done all year. Continue to find ways to have good at-bats. She's doing a good job of mixing speeds and mixing planes. We just got to continue to trust getting our best swing off.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Little different look to this point in the game for Duke today. Just 1 for 11, haven't scored yet. They scored 16 times on a season-high 20 hits yesterday.
I mean, it was so many hits, most runs scored by a single team in tournament history today. Haven't been able to push one across, but this is not a team that panics. We've seen them play from behind multiple times this year, and with the kind of bats that they have in this lineup, they don't need to panic. They may not need to panic, but they also need to make sure that they're chasing good pitches. Those balls up in the zone, they need to leave them up there. Lay off, draw the ball, call, and force Carrico to bring it into a hittable zone.
When we talked to Marissa Young yesterday, they had just given up 5 runs in the top of the 4th inning to go behind 8-4. After her interview, they came to the plate and had 6 consecutive base hits and scored 6 runs to retake the lead and never turn back. It is Layla Lamar leading things off, ahead in the count 2-1 against Carrico. Duke has had 16 come from behind wins this year. Big swing by Lamar, but a slow roller, and there's 1 out.
There has been no need to panic, knowing the way that Duke has been swinging it. However, they are really struggling against Carrico in the circle. Just 1 hit off of her today, and it was the very first batter of the game, Deanna Jennings, who was able to get that hit, kind of a bloop single out into center.
A.K. Mathis reaches for the first pitch. Foul ball, strike 1.
And you're seeing maybe a little bit more of a different approach here later in the game. They are swinging early in the count. Both Lamar and Mathis swinging at the first pitch. When we talked to Marissa Young about how to attack Carrico, she said that she's doing a really good job of mixing planes, and the planes are up and down. Facing an east-west pitcher or a curveball, screwball pitcher is a lot easier because you stay on the same plane. But when you face a rise ball, drop ball, or north-south kind of pitcher, it makes you have to change your approach and your swing path at the plate.
In the air to left, Abramovich drifts toward the line. 2 outs. All right, Jenny. Hold up here. This weekend's featured baseball game on ACC Network and the app. Saturday, number 14, Florida State and Clemson, game 2 of 3 at Doug Kingsmore Stadium, with coverage beginning at 6 Eastern.
What time?
6 Eastern.
Got it. And there's the change of speed that Marissa Young was referencing as well. Not only is Carrico changing planes north and south, but also manipulating her speeds, which makes it really difficult to time up when you toe the plate.
She's had a nice bounce back this inning so far after seeing the most trouble she saw in the game last inning. Got the first batter out and then a free pass. Another one reached on an error and a hit by pitch, but stranded the bases loaded with that strikeout of Tyrena Jones. Now 2 away. Inside that hit Shattuck. Second hit batter in as many innings for Carrico. apologize, there's a new left fielder out there. Lila Blackwell is in left field instead of Abramovich. Baker swings through the first pitch for strike one. In the air, shallow left. It's going to actually stay on the dirt for Annika Rose. This is tough to do against this lineup, but Bree Carrico is getting it done. 4 scoreless against the Blue Devils. Florida State is moving on. Bella Dimitrievich, the freshman pitcher, with an excellent performance in their run rule victory over Stanford. All smiles for the Seminoles, who await the winner of this one right here. Our championship game at 2:30 Eastern on ESPN. That is a familiar sight for ACC softball fans, seeing Florida State in that game.
I mean, they are the perennial power, and not until we saw the emergence of Duke and Clemson's programs did we see them get a little bit more challenged. It used to simply be Florida State every single year coming away with it. 38 combined ACC championships between regular season and tournament championships. Last couple of years, we've seen some different teams raise the trophy.
Virginia Tech is 3 innings away from their first ACC championship game appearance since 2012. They have won it twice, but they have not done so since someone by the name of Angela Tincher was in the circle. That was back in 2008. It was also their only Women's College World Series appearance in program history, and you see that number there. They are 38-0 and they lead after 4. Nice swing here from the top of this order. Addison Foster starts off the 5th.
We've seen some big hits in this game, but I would say that Addison Foster is seeing the ball the best in this lineup. 2 hits yesterday and just 4 hits for the team. Now here today, her first hit of the ball game, leading off the 5th.
I mentioned 2008. Something we saw last night from Emma Mazaron was 14 strikeouts. That's the most by a Hokie in the ACC tournament since Angela Tincher struck out 14 back in 2008. That's usually who you're going to be chasing in the pitching record books.
It definitely is, because she was so good. And it was back before there was a ton of national recognition in terms of TV time.
Popped up on the infield from Jordan Lynch. 1 out. There's Mazzarone looking on. Just an unbelievable, commanding performance in that environment against the home team in Virginia.
Well, and they needed that kind of performance. Her offense usually putting up a ton of runs, only able to put 3 up last night. And then their defense showing up pretty well behind them. Both teams had an error, but that 3-1 win over Virginia, very slim margin for the tough hitting Virginia Tech Hokies.
Shattuck lost it for just a second. Foster stays put at first base.
Well, in that situation, Foster has some pretty good wheels. She's got 10 stolen bases on the year, but she didn't take an additional step, which tells me she wasn't ready to advance in that moment.
3-0 now to Michelle Chatfield. Pair of hits. One was the solo home run to start the scoring, and then a single in the third. The odd-numbered innings have been her friend so far as Marissa Young heads out of the Duke dugout. Cassidy Curd, not just fantastic on the field for Duke, but also in the community in Durham, recognized as a community MVP for her volunteer efforts. Volunteers at local animal shelters back where she's from in Florida as well. Now, this is how you really connect with a community and a university right there. 4-pitch walk to Chatfield. Can Virginia Tech get some insurance in the 5th?
And that typically when you get that visit from your head coach out to the circle, you see a better pitch coming right after that visit. But here in this one, Cassidy Curd seems to be a little all over the place at the moment, and some movement in the bullpen for Duke.
Cleanup hitter Aldridge jumps out of the way of that pitch for ball 1. Mom and dad both played college athletics at Pembroke State, which is now the University of North Carolina at Pembroke. Her mom played softball, dad was a tennis player. This is in the air and gonna be really close. It is going to get out of play. Speaking of tennis, there's a super regional going on this weekend in men's tennis. South Carolina men are here in Charlottesville taking on Virginia.
I mean, this time of year is just a really exciting time of year. A lot of collegiate seasons for the spring sports coming to a close. Lots of big games on the line.
1-1 lifted to center. It's not gonna have enough. Back to the track, and then Jennings coming in. Look at that arm. No one's gonna run on that after seeing the throw from Deanna Jennings.
No, Jennings takes pride in the strength of her arm coming from that center field spot. Not only is she fast enough to track stuff down in the outfield, into the gaps, but she puts her feet in the right position to gain momentum through that catch to get a really nice throw on a line all the way over to third. Footwork in the outfield is so important. Not only do you need to be fast, but you need to set your body up to be able to make those plays with the right angles and the right momentum in the right direction.
Nora Abramovich re-enters. She is 1 for 2 at the plate with a solo home run. Had a 23-game reach base streak snapped last night when she was 0 for 3. But right back to business today. Ground ball left side, Tyrena Jones on the move, makes the play. Cassidy Curd has done a nice job since entering this game. No one scored in the last 3 innings.
So far, all the scoring has been Virginia Tech. Michelle Chatfield got things going in the first inning. Solo shot over the bleachers in left center. That put him on the board. Next inning, Nora Abramovich, home run number 2 going oppo. Now Virginia Tech with 103 home runs on the year as a team. On the other side, Bree Carrico able to make a really good pitch in a really tight spot, struck out Tyrena Jones to keep Duke off the board.
New left fielder is Sarah McNelly, a junior from South Plainfield, New Jersey. So some movement out in left field recently. Abramovich came back in to hit, and now McNelly is the new left fielder. 9-1-2 due up for the Duke Blue Devils, who have 9 outs to work with. Just 1 hit in the game for Duke. Carrico jumps ahead 0-2. How about this, Jenny, for this Duke offense? They haven't been held under 6 runs in the last 10 games. They have not scored less than 4 since March 15th against Virginia Tech. That is almost 2 months of scoring at least 4 runs as Foster comes on to make the catch.
But one of the qualities about this Duke offense is they don't panic, and especially as they turn the lineup over to their most potent bats. You got speed coming to the plate that has been able to hit for not just average, but also for power. Started off the game with a hit, and so far, it's the only time we've seen Duke get a hit in this ballgame. Bree Carrico out in the circle has been able to get the swing and miss up in the zone. 4 strikeouts on the Blue Devils here today.
Duke leadoff hitters today are just 1 for 5. That 1 hit was Jennings back in the first, who lines out right into a nice shift to Mazel.
Well, and these are a bunch of Adam hits. We heard about that phrase earlier. These hits coming off the barrel with some juice, but they are right at the defenders. And you talked about the shift. They're going to play Vega into a defensive shift as well as they move the shortstop over on the other side of second base, knowing that Vega likes to pull the ball.
Bree Carrico's thrown a no-hitter since she recorded the first out after Jennings singled.
I mean, Jennings came out trying to set the tone. Carrico set him down very quickly. Her most efficient inning was last inning, throwing just 9 total pitches, 7 of them for strikes. This inning, though, she might beat that number if we see a free swinging of Mina Vega.
Which you do. This is into center, and how about this from Bree Carrico? She is rolling against one of the best lineups in the country. 5 scoreless for the ACC Freshman of the Year. We welcome you back to the All-State ACC Softball Championship. As the rotunda, which was designed by the third president, Thomas Jefferson, who also founded the University of Virginia back in 1819. Campus, we've seen some of the shots from overhead, and it is just an absolutely beautiful campus here in Charlottesville.
Picturesque, and this has been the most beautiful day here that we've seen at the tournament. We've battled some rain, we've battled some chilly temps. The sun has been out most of today. It's gone behind a cloud at the moment, but I think it's just been a perfect backdrop for this championship tournament.
Can't beat 70 degrees with a light breeze. And a 2-3 matchup in the semifinal with the #1 seed waiting. Cassidy Curd's 5th inning of work now. This is into left field. Is this gonna go? It is gone! Rachel Castine! She had hit 4 straight to finish the regular season. She didn't last night, but she is back to it today.
Hitless last night, broke a 7-game hit streak. Here today, she says, let's turn that around. That ball sat belt high. Beautiful cookie. Definitely a hitter's pitch. Your job as a hitter is to make sure that you take advantage of a mistake coming out of the circle. 15th home run of the year, 3rd run on the board for Virginia Tech.
They've just gone one at a time with 3 solo shots to lead the Blue Devils. That was the first run allowed by Cassidy Curd, just the 3rd hit given up by Curd. Castine's 15th of the season and the 104th for Virginia Tech, one of the best power hitting teams in the country.
When you're a rise ball pitcher, you do run the risk of leaving a ball big and allowing the home run. Here today, that's the first home run that's been hit off of Cassidy Curd in this ball game. The previous 2 came off of the starter, KK Mathis, but that is the 27th home run given up by Cassidy Curd this season.
She's in a 3-0 count right now against Zoe Yeager. It's a 4-pitch walk.
There had been movement in the Duke bullpen. Earlier, Larissa Jaquez, the junior transfer from Incarnate Word, had been down in the bullpen warming previously. Right now, no action going on in the pen.
Abby Mazzell reached on an infield single her last time up. Pete DeMore making a change on the base paths. Jordan Bishop will run over at first base, freshman from Cartersville, Georgia. Off the end of the bat to center. 1 out. After the game, stay with us for All ACC live from the ACC Softball Championship here in Charlottesville. Wrap-up coverage continues after every game. It's also available on the ESPN app. Hello, you 3. Looking much more comfortable this afternoon than yesterday.
Still beautiful, just more comfortable. Yeah, they've had to brave quite a few different elements down the line. It was chilly as they sat out there all day yesterday. That wind just didn't shut down, and it was kind of chilly.
Yeah, to their credit, I think it might have, the temperature might have started with a 4 last night, which was a tough one by the end of their show. Rose was showing bunt and pulled back. It is a 3-0 count now for Curd. Had a 4-pitch walk just 2 batters ago to Yeager. Shows bunt again. There is strike 1. You could see Annika Rose looking down the third baseline at Tyrena Jones there.
Well, they want to see if she's going to react to that barrel that is being put out there looking like a drag bunt. Tyrena Jones not falling for it. I think she's correct in staying back on this. Rose is not going to drop a bunt.
Off the end of the bat, that had a ton of spin on it. Baker stayed with it for the out.
Yeah, yellow ball corner pocket was what that was looking like. A ton of English getting it right off the end of the bat. With all that spin, it's difficult to rein in at times, but by sticking with it, Jada Baker, nice little out at first base.
You a pool player?
If it requires a softball bat, perhaps, but
okay.
You will not be winning any money off of me tonight.
I feel like I'm getting hustled already. Top of the order for Addison Foster. Had a single up the middle her last time up. Into right field and in foul territory. Lamar by the fence, and it popped out of her glove, but she stayed with it. A nice grab out and right by Layla Lamar.
Everybody holding their breath on that one, knowing that Foster has some really good bat control. Pops out of the glove, not aided by the fence. Lamar comes away with a really nice catch to get out of the inning.
After that half inning, that's Deanna Jennings kind of leading the charge in this huddle that didn't see any coaches. We saw Marissa Young in there a couple innings ago, giving them some words of wisdom, but this one is all Deanna Jennings and Amina Vega.
And those two seniors combining to try to get this Duke squad ready to go with just 6 outs left to play and a 3-run deficit. It is important to be player-led in this moment and find a way to get the bats going to extend their season.
6th inning for Duke. Bree Carrico's first pitch is fouled down the left field line. She has been extremely efficient in these last couple frames, Jenny.
I mean, the way that you see her pitching, it's gotten so efficient here at the end because you're seeing Duke a little bit more free swinging early in at bats. And because of that, they are helping Carrico out there in the circle.
3 of the 5 innings, 12 pitches or less. This is into right center field. Long run for the right fielder, Mazel, but she makes the catch, 1 out.
thought it was going to have a chance to fall in the gap, but with Mazel able to track that one down, she actually got there early enough to slow down and make it an easy catch.
Bree Carrico has retired 8 of the last 9, and the one that reached in that time was a hit by pitch. Tyrena Jones's last trip to the plate, but with the bases loaded, and she struck out swinging. The other thing, we've seen dominance from Carrico in this game. She struck out the side in the second. She had the big strikeout pitch against Jones, but we've also seen her just confidently locating and letting her defense work.
Well, in the last 2 innings, we've seen the outs all recorded in the air. Not a lot of balls down in the zone. Layla Lamar did get a ground out to start off the 4th inning, but since then, every other out has been recorded either on a line or on the fly. What that tells you is these Duke hitters, number 1, are chasing the pitch up in the zone, but they're also setting up their swing plane to drive the ball in the air. Your job when you're facing a pitcher that is throwing at the top of the zone is to make sure you stay on top and try to get the ball on the ground, make the defense play.
Ground ball left side that gets through. The second hit for Duke tonight belongs to Tyrena Jones.
Well, and that's the adjustment that has needed to be made. The left side of the infield has been a tough place to make an out in this tournament. The ground is playing very fast.
Only time they've been shut out in an ACC tournament game was in 2018, which was their first season of existence. It was also against Virginia Tech. Swing and a miss there by Layla Lamar. One count to Lamar. You said it, grounded out to first base back in the 4th, has also struck out in this game. I think anyone watching this game and anyone who's watched the ACC this year knows Duke is still very much in this. Hard hit ground ball. This could be 2. Not going to be fast enough. There are 2 outs though.
But I like the adjustment, staying on top of the ball, putting it on the ground. We've seen so many miscues defensively when the ball gets put on the ground. The infield here at Virginia has played hard and fast, which creates some difficult plays for the infield.
KK Mathis has been aggressive at the plate. Swings at that first pitch. 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. She's got some power, 8 home runs, 22 RBIs on the season. 24 RBIs, excuse me.
And KK Mathis was a pinch hitter to start the season, found her way into more of an everyday role in that DP slot as the season went on, showing a lot of confidence coming off the bench.
Good location from Carrico.
And not only does she mess with her speeds on that one, bringing it in right around 50 miles an hour, but it's also a really good spot, down and away, hard to reach if you're ahead in your swing.
1-2. Hit hard into left field. The inning continues thanks to KK Mathis. 2 hits in the last 3 batters.
Just nice to see that the bats have come alive for Duke. Bree Carrico has been spinning a gem, getting a lot of fly outs, but here this inning, doubling their hit total in just an inning. Coming into it, 1 hit, 2 hits this inning.
Duke has not been shut out all year. Marissa Young out of the Duke dugout, maybe to make a change and get a runner over on first base. It'll be London Collins, a freshman from Round Rock, Texas, making her 22nd appearance of the season. Has primarily been used as a pinch runner and scored 12 times this year. Mathis takes half the equipment room with Duke back to the dugout with her. It's incredible.
And I'll bring another sense into the game because those things do not smell good.
Big spot for Gabby Shattuck. 3 hits yesterday. 0 for 1 today with a hit by pitch and a strikeout. Takes the first 2 and jumps ahead 2-0. Virginia Tech going to talk things over again. Trying to calm Bree Carrico down. There are 2 outs in the inning. Started with a fly out and then the single for Jones before a fielder's choice for the second out. And then Mathis's base hit. There is Emma Mazzarone in waiting. We've seen her moving around the bullpen a little bit throughout this game. Could the big lefty make an appearance if Carrico can't get this batter, or maybe to close it out in the 7th?
And I don't know that there's a ton of expectation that there's going to be a change in the circle with this timeout call.
Bree Carrico might have an issue with her finger right now, or hand. The trainer has come out of the dugout to look at it. Take a look back to a pitch in the 4th inning. It seemed to bother her a little bit. See her shake that right hand. Just looking at her fingers, maybe.
Well, and you create calluses on your fingertips as you try to grip the ball specifically as a pitcher, and as you build those calluses, at times they have a tendency to lift or break, and when that happens, it makes it really difficult to get your grip, get your spins. Because of that, it looks like we're gonna have a pitching change.
And there were tears in the eyes of Bree Carrico. She wanted this. She did not want to come out of this game, but I think it was one of those moments where she realized she had to. And so here comes the flamethrower, Emma Mazzarone, to try and finish what the ACC Freshman of the Year started. We'll give Mazzarone a chance to warm up. 2 on, 2 out in the bottom of the 6th. Here comes Emma Mazzarone after a historic performance yesterday against Virginia. Complete game, 1 run, 14 strikeout performance.
9th complete game of the year. It was such an impressive showing for her yesterday. She's actually not a pitcher that has been used in relief very often this year. Just the 6th time we've seen her throw in relief this season. So coming out of the pen, in more of a closer role here today, trying to get the last 4 outs of this game.
4 wins in her last 4 appearances. Just 3 earned runs over the last 16 2/3. She has just been lights out. And she needs 4 outs to send Virginia Tech back to the ACC championship game. She also enters in a 2-0 count and immediately falls behind 3-0 to make matters even more difficult for her against Gabby Shattuck. There is strike 1. Carrico back in the Virginia Tech dugout, still working with their trainer. We'll keep an eye on that, especially if they advance to tomorrow. 5 2/3, 3 hits, no earned, and 2 of those 3 hits came in the last few batters that she faced. The bases now loaded for Emma Mazzarone, and the biggest point in this game.
We've talked how Duke doesn't panic even when their back is against the wall, and right now sitting in a really nice spot, bases loaded. Mazzarone needs just 1 out to get out of this inning.
Marissa Young is going to pinch hit with Kyrie Rodriguez, who has been used as a sub in her last 6 appearances. She has 2 pinch hit base hits in the last 3 games. None would be bigger than this one right here for a couple of reasons, because one, you get on the board, you also make sure that at the very least the top of your order begins the 7th inning. Marissa Young making a pinch runner substitution. Ariel Kruger, another true freshman, entering the game for Shattuck. What a spot for Kyrie Rodriguez right now against Emma Mazzarone. Fresh off the bench to see 72 miles an hour.
It's a very different adjustment that you have to make at the plate with Bree Carrico throwing mid-60s. Now Mazzarone coming in, getting over 70 miles an hour. You've got to make sure that you are on time. That is a difficult task for any hitter, but especially one coming fresh off the bench who has not been in this game yet.
27 hits on the year for Kyrie Rodriguez, 10 extra base hits, 19 RBIs. Big cut from Rodriguez for strike 1.
But with that cut, I'm seeing a very level swing, and that is one that typically stays in the zone for quite a long time. So a really nice swing just underneath that amazing pitch by Mazzarone.
1-1. Trying to go to the outside corner and just missing. That's where she lived last night.
That's exactly where she got most of her strikeouts last night. She did not challenge hitters on the inside part of the plate.
Two-1 to Rodriguez. Out in front of that pitch, 2-2.
I mean, not only did she take velocity off of that pitch, but she also took it way up high. A lot of emotion in the box for the pinch hitter, Rodriguez.
Virginia Tech stranded, the bases loaded back in the 3rd. This is popped up on the infield, and they do it again. Emma Mazzarone picking up her teammate Bree Carrico, and it is 6 scoreless for the Hokies. 1 inning away from a date with Florida State tomorrow in the ACC Championship.
All-State ACC Softball Championship is brought to you by All-State. You're in good hands.
The ACC Championship Trophies tour of Charlottesville is nearly complete. It'll be in the building here at Palmer Park tomorrow for one of these two teams to face off with Florida State at a shot at raising that trophy. Virginia Tech has put together a masterful performance. 3-0, they lead it as we go to the 7th. They are looking for their first championship appearance since 2012. For Duke, it would be their 4th since their program's inception in 2018. They won it in 2021 and 2024. Virginia Tech also has 2 ACC championships. Back in 2012 was their last one. Tough part of the order here is Jordan Lynch hits one to the wall for Virginia Tech, and she has extra bases.
Big double for Jordan Lynch. Ball left really big. And if you're ready for that pitch above the belt, right at the letters, it's easy to go right at it. Has to slide in to get the double because of the way that Deanna Jennings caught it off the wall. Really strong throw to get in, but a runner in scoring position for Virginia Tech.
First pitch ball from Curd to Michelle Chatfield. That's now 5 of Virginia Tech's leadoff hitters reaching in this game. 1-1 count. The teams today are combined 2 for 23 with runners on base. So this has been a problem for both sides.
Shows you that defense is showing up well behind their pitchers, and these pitchers are continuing to dance around the zone.
This is hit hard up the middle. Jennings makes the catch in center. That is a gutsy play by Deanna Jennings.
Typically, you don't like to see an outfielder dive forward or straight ahead because there is no help coming from the side in that situation. That ball was laced by Michelle Chatfield. That catch, you're right, Chucky, a gutsy dive, but that's the kind of player that Deanna Jennings is.
One out, and the runner stays put at second base. For now, Kylie Aldridge, who's 0 for 3. Bounced in by Curd. At the end of the day, Duke really can't be too upset with the pitching performance that they've had from KK Mathis and Cassidy Curd today to hold this lineup to 3. Aldridge lays into one to right field. It's gone! And that got out of here in a hurry. 2 insurance runs on Kylie Aldridge's 10th home run of the season.
Virginia Tech now sits at 105 team home runs on the year and has now watched another player enter double-digit home runs for them. Their 5th hitter in the lineup with double-digit home runs, and that's going to be enough to lift Cassidy Curd out of this ballgame.
All about the long ball for Virginia Tech today, Jenny. 4 home runs, have delivered all 5 of their runs. It is what this offense is built around. It goes back to the fall and to the preseason with Bomb Fridays in Blacksburg, where Pete Demore takes them out on Friday to the park and they just hit blast onto the street.
And that's not the goal, right? Like, obviously, home runs are an amazing byproduct of a good swing put on a very good pitch. But at the same time, those Bomb Fridays seem to be paying off. He said their goal in the offseason when they went out for those Bomb Fridays was to get 100 home runs hit in an hour. The first time they went out in the offseason this year, they only hit 53, and they were a little bit disappointed in that output. So this, as the year went on, the Bomb Fridays got better. Their work happens actually indoors in the fall, and so they only get outside on the field 1 day a week.
Larissa Jaquez enters, a junior from Eagle Pass, Texas, to try and get a couple outs and give Duke an opportunity. Virginia Tech is 3 outs away in the bottom of this inning from meeting Florida State. And Florida State hasn't played either of these teams this year. They didn't play Duke or Virginia Tech in the regular season, so this is going to be a new look tomorrow. A lot of unknown to an extent, and excitement surrounding this matchup.
Pretty favorable schedule to be able to not have to play those 2 big teams and only matching up here at the tournament.
Jaquez faces Sarah McNelly. Or excuse me, this is going to be Nora Abramovich re-entering for the left fielder.
When as Jaquez takes the circle, she likes to stay up in the zone with a rise, a curve, and a screw. So you've got to make sure that you stay on top on approach.
And on time on that off speed.
And that's the other part of the pitcher that you have to be aware of it. That changeup, she will work it in to every at bat. Saw it there in just her second pitch out in the circle.
Tried to wait on it that time, but still couldn't, and it's a 1-2 count.
Back-to-back slow pitches. So now, do you trust yourself to go back to the changeup, or do you go for the swing and miss on the rise ball up in the zone?
Went with a little more velocity on that pitch. Fought off by Abramovich. Four home runs today for the Hokies. They hit 5 in a single game 3 times this year. The pitch misses inside.
And Jaquez did throw against Virginia Tech in the regular season. Struggled in that outing.
In the air to left center for Jennings. There's 2 outs. Upstairs ball 1 to Rachel Castine, one of the 4 home run hitters in the game for Virginia Tech. 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the order have all homered. 2-0.
Maybe they're just looking at this as a Bomb Friday.
It has certainly worked that way for him today. This one won't leave the infield. Oakland traveling over to make the catch. One last chance for the Blue Devils. 9-1-2 due up for Duke. Can they conquer Emma Mazzarone, who will try and close things out for Virginia Tech?
Let's take a look at today's Good Hands plays brought to you by Allstate. Well, it wasn't just one play, there were 4 of them. 4 home runs hit in this game by the Virginia Tech Hokies, 105 team home runs this season. They're approaching last year's 112. But right now, today, Michelle Chatfield, Nora Abramovich, Rachel Castine, and Kylie Aldridge, the 4 home run hitters in the lineup.
And now 3 outs away from a spot in the ACC championship game. Bree Carrico was magnificent, but had to exit with what appeared to be a little bit of a finger or a hand issue in the middle of that last inning. So a good option here in Emma Mazzarone, although you mentioned, Jenny, just her 6th relief appearance of the season. This would be a save because when she came in, it was just a 3-run lead. Outside, ball 1. 9-1-2 for the Blue Devils. Adeline Matthews is 0 for 1 with a walk today. Up and away, ball 2. Chopped foul to make it a 2-2 count.
I think the difference between last night's showing with Emma Mazzarone and today, Virginia's swingers were a lot more free. They were really chasing a ton of balls off the plate. These Duke hitters a little bit more disciplined on the zone.
Swing and a miss. Mazzarone keeps it rolling. She's faced 2 batters, and that's another strikeout.
You have to show discipline on that ball up in the zone. If you do not, Emma Mazzarone loves to be able to get that nice tight spin and a little bit of a break up and away. Swing and miss on the first batter.
First pitch swinging for Jennings is popped up and out of play. Iana led off the bottom of the first with a hit, but has since flied out to left and lined out to right center and basically hit it into this Virginia Tech shift right where Mazzell is standing out in right center field now. It's about where that last ball went to.
Well, and Jennings is the player that has brought the entire team together as they have picked up the bats in the last 2 innings to try to get this team ready to go. Well, now it's in her hands to try to get things going.
Swing and a miss. And she lost her wristband with kind of the quarterback play sheet on it.
Yeah, it just has a card in there that is interchangeable to be able to call different plays depending on who is in the circle.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Emma Mazzarone is cold-blooded right now.
Just dealing high heat, nice little pickup at the end to get the swing and miss. I mean, right now, that is a difficult pitch to catch up to because of its velocity, but it's also got a really nice, tight spin to get over the barrels.
Last chance for Duke is Amina Vega. Swings through the first pitch, strike 1.
I mean, both of those pitches look very similar. Typically, a changeup tunnels well with a drop ball, but Emma Mazzarone is delivering 2 pitches, the rise and the changeup, that look very similar with different velocities.
Another swing and a miss from Vega, and Virginia Tech is 1 strike away from their first ACC championship game appearance since 2012. Little spinner to the left side, and it's fumbled just enough to allow Vega to reach.
We're seeing a lot of miss hits coming off the barrels of Duke, way ahead, but catching enough of it to get a ton of spin off of it. Vega way ahead of that, and because of all the spin coming off of it, can't be played cleanly by the third baseman, Lynch.
Can Jessica Oakland now pass the bat? 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. There's strike one. Hard hit ball off the glove of the shortstop Rose, trying to keep it in front. And Amina Vega says no reason to test it.
No, with a 5-run deficit at this point, you are just playing base to base, not trying to challenge or draw that throw. With 2 outs, you're just trying to keep this inning alive. Hard hit ball right back up the middle. This infield has played hard and fast all week, and so that has kind of been what's happened on those balls on the ground for everybody here this week.
Jones rockets this over. The ACC now set in, all ACC set, I should say, bat in left field. 2 big moments in this game for Duke. One of them came with Tyrena Jones at the plate. Twice they've had the bases loaded. This time just 2 on. Did she go? She did not. And it's a 1-1 count. Swing and a miss, and again, Duke down to their final strike. Eight innings for Mazzarone, 1 earned, 16 Ks in the last 2 days. She got her! Emma Mazzarone sends Virginia Tech back to the ACC championship game.
Mazzarone has maybe not been pulled out of the pen very often, but here comes away as the closer seals the win for Virginia Tech, heads back to the championship game tomorrow against Florida State. Bats showed up in a big way for them to put enough runs on the board. Duke unable to respond with anything. No runs coming across for the Blue Devils here today.
Just the 5th loss for Duke in the last 35 games. And a massive win for Virginia Tech to set up an ACC championship between the Hokies and the Seminoles.
The Hokies have eclipsed 100 home runs multiple years. This one no different. 105 team home runs after the 4 hit here today by Chatfield, Abramovich, Castine, and Aldridge. A 5-run day for the Hokies, and then Mazzarone coming in to seal the deal. Amazing performance for her last night. 14 strikeouts last night, 3 here today for the win.
The Hokies will face off with Florida State, the 1 versus 3 here at the ACC Softball Championship at 2:30 Eastern Time on Championship Saturday. That game coming your way on ESPN. Virginia Tech will be looking for their 3rd ACC championship, their last in 2008 on the back of Angela Tincher, and then Florida State has ran the ACC for a long time. They're looking for number 20 after they went back-to-back in 2022 and 2023.
Impressive showing by Virginia Tech here. They're showing that their bats are ready to go and their pitchers are pretty tuned in the circle.
For Jenny Dalton-Hill, I am Chucky Kemp. The semis in the books. The stage is set for the championship tomorrow. Now let's hear from the ladies out in left field. All ACC is coming up. Taylor Tannenbaum, Brittany McKinney, and Alex Powers.
seeking its 20th ACC title, and for Virginia Tech, it would be number